Hi, I'm John Capodice. I know, you can't place the name, but you know the face. Happens all the time. Kelly, excuse me a minute, huh? I'm one of those actors you see all the time in the movies and on TV, but you don't quite catch the name. I'm not a star, but without people like me, the star doesn't have anyone to talk to confess to, or to, pow, shoot at. So you see, you and me, we have at least one thing in common. Without us, nothing happens. I'm based in L.A. now, but New York's my hometown. Rego Park, Queens. So naturally, a good part of my life has to do with New York telephone. I made my first date on New York telephone. I lived on the phone when I was a teenager. My first big acting break came to me over the phone. Joe Papp called to say, hey, you're doing Shakespeare in Central Park. Shakespeare. Kelly, you did the best you could. Thanks. I courted my wife on New York telephone. And when Cassie was born, I called relatives all over the country to tell them about it, let them know. You helped me then, I want to help you now. Oh yeah, I'm being paid for this. Hey, just because you get paid for your work doesn't mean you don't believe in it, does it? I'm here because we need to cut through some of the garbage. The garbage that's getting in the way of our being the best telephone company in New York. You heard it right. We're not the only ones anymore, and it's beginning to hurt where it counts. Check it out.
Since divestiture, New York Telephone Company has lost $50 to $100 million in private line revenues to competition. This competition continues to increase.
70% of the installed PBX base is provided by 4 of our major competitors. New York Telephone's market share is only about 17% of the PBX Centrex market.
The customer-owned, point-operated telephone market is growing faster than New York Telephone Point. CoCut's market share increased from 2.7% in 1985 to 17.3% in 1989.
In the latest FCC bypass report filed by NYNEX in April 1990, the estimated bypass revenue loss for New York Telephone in 1989 was approximately $500 million. That's not a fluke, it's a trend.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Okay, let's keep that room clear. Good, Andy. Okay, Kelly, clear? Stand by and ready, John?
Yeah.
And action.
New York Tel's competition is tough, and it's getting tougher every day. Why not? There's real money to be made. Money we could be making. Now, don't start that finger-pointing stuff. I know what you're thinking. You're going to blame this person or that department or some manager for one thing or another. Now, that policy will get us nowhere fast. Let's take a look at what we're up against. Let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages to the telephone listing. You'll see about 20 pages of companies anxious to provide telephone service and equipment to anyone who wants it. Take a look at some of the names on these 20 pages, just to get an idea of what we're up against. If it's in here, it's out there. There's more. Now there are telephones that imitate New York Tel features like touchtone, speed calling, call pickup, read, dial, and hold. We're surrounded. Okay. You say competition is not your problem. I mean, you do your job, and what more can you do, right? Well, look at it this way. Here I am, doing my job. The camera person's doing her job.
Okay, John, let's go to position 2 now.
The director, well, he's doing his job. And the video engineer is doing his. But what we're getting is bupkis.
Folks, let's get some lights on the subject here, please.
All it takes is one little oversight. One moment of not paying attention, and everyone has to scramble to correct it. Sure, we thought we did our jobs. But if our job isn't done right the first time, everything has to be done over. It raises the cost of doing business, and the customer doesn't always get what they are paying for on time. Thanks, everybody. Well, you get the picture. So we got problems. The kind of problems that come with being a big company offering diverse services to a demanding market.
When a new change is made, a new switch comes online, when there's a cut, an old switch goes out, we have no information on how to reach the new people.
We're offering a lot of new products now. People don't really always necessarily know what ramifications, their part of the job has on other people.
Any department, basically, I talk to is very helpful, but sometimes they don't have the information available. The information is incorrect in the database, Turks or Cosmos, whatever.
I may have a job with a Word document that gives me one set of information. Somebody else has the same circuit, but they have different information. And they have to go by their rules.
Every section doesn't know what the other section is doing. Testers don't know what the frame is doing. Frame doesn't know what the testers are doing. And when you try and get information, you get a wild goose chase.
I'm working on a job now with a particular customer, and we have some problems that we've determined are definitely outside. And it took days for us to determine how to even get somebody from our own company to go out to that customer's premises.
Well, when it comes to competition inside the phone company, we have met the enemy, and they are us.
But we've also got solutions.
We need to improve the understanding, the technical knowledge of all the people who work on these various products, so that they know, okay, I'm delivering something now, and I know this is exactly what the next department down needs to make this thing work.
I think that if we could work together better as a team, I think we could achieve more, because we are the company. I mean, I feel that very strongly. And I feel like every line that I work on is my telephone line.
I would like to see an up-to-date SCC directory provided to us.
I think the customer, all they ask for is a little feedback from craft as well as management.
Quality job is giving the customer the best service that you can give, working with your coworkers the best that you can.
We need more mutual and constructive relationships between craft and management.
I think that if we could cut down on a lot of the paperwork and actually get the job done instead of shuffling papers, that we would have a better communication with our customers.
We gotta learn to take the initiative and maybe set up small pockets within the company that can almost act like small companies.
If we can be a little more flexible and get the customer back in service and then take care of the internal problems. This way the customer is satisfied, we take care of what is to be done after the customer is in service, and everybody is happy.
Make sure you do your job right, because you're a customer too.
We're all connected, right? But we're human. People make mistakes, things go wrong. What's the big deal? Well, look at it this way. There you are, waiting for this train. Somewhere up the line, something doesn't happen that should, or that shouldn't happen does. Just one little thing. All you know is that you've been waiting for a half hour and no train. All you want is transportation. So you go and find transportation elsewhere. End of fable. The point is, our customers now have options and we have to be the best. Okay, we now have the option of blaming each other for this and that and pulling ourselves apart so our competition can walk all over us. Or we can focus our energies on something we can all agree is important. The customer.
I think it's important that the people that hear this message understand that they are doing a valuable job. They are basically satisfying some fundamental needs of corporate New York. There are some things that we need to address collectively.
You have a very talented workforce. You have the ability to use the latest in technology. But what we don't see is an attitude out there that we matter. We don't see an attitude that says that when something's broke, we have to fix it right away. When something's ordered, we have to put it in right away.
We go to alternatives. We look for non-telephone company means to make it happen. So where we would have a DS1 set up, on a New York Tel basis, we would back that up through a teleport or some other means.
There's a lot of competition in the street, especially in the streets of Manhattan, where the amount of business on one square block probably exceeds the state of Montana. But the bottom line is that these alternate access companies can go in there with the latest technology, put in fiber into the building, into the manholes, and what's more important is they can provision it to us in a significantly less time than New York Tel can.
There are only two things that separate us these days. It's the quality of service as one, and the reliability as two. And I must say that the competition at this time has it all over you on both counts.
I think the opportunities and the eye-openers are beginning to happen as you see some of your revenue erode.
You have the resources, you have the technology, you can do it, but you're not doing it yet.
9X can benefit as well as us by listening to what we have to say.
Customers may not always be right, but they are always the customer. We need to be sure that they stay our customers. And don't give me that stuff about you don't deal directly with customers. Wait a sec. Evan, come here. Evan doesn't deal directly with you. But if it weren't for what he does, you wouldn't hear me too good. Thanks, Evan. Everybody here who you can't see are all part of making it possible for us to communicate. As I said before, I'm not a star. But when I do my part right in a movie or a TV show, I can make a big difference in your enjoyment. And I never see you. Also, doing the job well makes me feel good. Hey, Cal, not a bad day, huh?
Not bad.
I don't have to tell you. You know, it's the same thing with you. Everybody counts. Outside and inside, craft and management, company and union. It takes everybody working together to make sure your customers feel safe and secure, to help them run their businesses, to bring families together, to build futures and dreams. You know, I'm doing this job because I realize that maybe some of you have helped me with my life. You've made it real special for me and for my family. And I really appreciate that. Thanks to all of you. See you in the movies. You did a great job.